Hollow Lake was a quiet, God-forsaken place, the kind of place that never made the news until something awful happened. The locals like to say the lake had no bottom, that once something sank there, it never came back up. For decades, people told stories about ripples that moved against the wind, or about strange sounds echoing across the water at night, like someone calling for help. But stories are stories. At least that's what Lisa thought. Lisa worked for a small online channel called Tech Depth, a series about how technology meets mystery, haunted AIs, cursed videos, strange digital signals. When she saw a viral post about disappearances near Hollow Lake, she thought it would make a perfect modern myth episode. She arrived with her camera gear, a laptop, a few GoPros, and her favorite drone. "If there's something in that water," she said jokingly into her vlog camera, "we'll catch it in 4K. She rented an old cabin near the shoreline. The air was heavy, the silence unnerving. Even the insects were quiet at night. The first thing she noticed was how dark the water was. Not blue, not green, but thick, like liquid smoke. She started filming right away, documenting every detail: the warped wooden dock, the rusted boats, the way the wind would stop suddenly, like the whole forest was holding its breath. At dusk, she launched her drone for the first sweep over the lake. The live feed streamed onto her tablet, black surface, slight ripples, then nothing. Until suddenly, the image glitched, just a flicker, and for half a second she thought she saw something just under the surface. A face. A child's face, but then it was gone, replaced by static and a faint, high-pitched tone. In her headphones, she thought she heard a sound behind the distortion. A laugh. She landed the drone, shaking her head. "Signal bounce," she muttered. But that night, as she reviewed the footage frame by frame, the laugh came again. Only this time it came from her laptop speakers. The video started playing on its own, scrolling through the timeline like invisible fingers were dragging the cursor. The image froze on one frame, her, standing on the pier. But behind her reflection in the water, there was a silhouette, pale, motionless, waist-deep in the lake. No face, just an outline faintly glowing in the dark. Lisa stopped the playback, heart pounding. She rewound, checked again. The figure was gone. Fast-forwarded, it was back. Each time she looked, it seemed a little closer. The next morning, she went into town to interview the sheriff. He was an older man, tired eyes, hands trembling as he poured coffee. When she mentioned the drownings, he grew quiet. "You shouldn't stay by that water," he said. "That lake remembers." She noticed a small pendant on his desk, a tiny silver fish on a chain. "That belonged to Michael Rowan," he said after a pause. "He was the first. 20 years ago, 11 years old, went swimming, never came out. When they finally found him, his skin was gray, like the water had claimed him." That night, Lisa launched her drone again. The air was colder than before. Mist rolled off the lake like slow smoke. She watched the live feed in silence until the drone suddenly dipped, the picture shaking violently. Then, clear as day, she saw it. A boy's face staring up through the water, eyes open, mouth moving soundlessly. The drone dove straight down, the image blurring as bubbles filled the screen. Then nothing. Lisa dropped the controller and ran to the dock. "Michael!" she screamed before realizing what she'd just said. The name had slipped out on its own. She knelt at the edge, peering into the black water. For a moment, all she saw was her reflection, pale, shaking. Then another reflection appeared behind hers, smaller, smiling. Cold fingers wrapped around her wrist and pulled. She yanked her arm back, gasping. Her skin burned, the mark of a small hand pressed deep and blue into her flesh. Back inside the cabin, she slammed the door shut and opened her laptop to back up the footage. But the file wasn't there. Instead, her screen flickered to life, showing a live video feed of her own room, from her own angle, as if the webcam were streaming. She froze. On the screen, she saw herself sitting exactly as she was, and behind her, standing in the corner, was the wet silhouette of a child. Then came the whisper. "You'll drown too," it said, voice distorted, layered with static. "But first, see what we see down here." The picture shifted. The view turned to black water. A faint red glow pulsed like a heartbeat. Then faces emerged from the dark. Dozens, hundreds, bloated, colorless, staring upward. Their mouths moved in silence. Their eyes were open, wide and lifeless. Among them, she saw herself. Eyes empty, hair floating, skin pale like glass. The laptop emitted a low hum, then went dead. Every device in the cabin powered off at once. The lights, her phone, even her watch. Outside, the lake was completely still, the reflection of the moon bright and sharp, until it rippled as if something huge had turned beneath the surface. The next day, the sheriff found her car still parked by the cabin. The door was open, the equipment untouched. The only thing missing was Lisa. Out on the lake, they found her drone, floating upside down, still transmitting a signal with no battery attached. The video looped endlessly, the view from underwater, faint movement in the darkness, and that same laugh echoing again and again. Now, anyone who flies a drone over Hollow Lake receives the same notification. Live stream active. Source, underwater feed. Some who click the link say the stream begins with their own reflection, as if the camera is filming them from inside their screen. And behind that reflection, something slowly rises from the water. Something that watches, something that remembers. And if you keep watching long enough, reflection starts to move before you do.